TA coming out, Thunder Awaken here. Now do you feel that you know where these lanes are going to be shaping
10
up?
seconds remaining.
If I was looking at heroes that they have played, Pakaz has really enjoyed TA. So I'm thinking this is TA with Dazzle, offlane Snapfire with Monkey 4.
TA was his most played in 2 or 3 DPC.
Second most played.
Second
His most played was Morphling.
Yeah. I knew it was up there. It was definitely in the high
it's
percentages. All right, so they're also pretty straightforward per se when we talk about that comfort.
I can't remember exactly what Alone's played this tournament so far. Has he played a TA?
10 seconds.
No.
I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, that's how it looks to me.
Turn to bad.
I could be wrong. It could be like a mid TA either way.
And that's the old school match, TA versus Invoker. That's always considered the counter pick. I think still is in some ways, or many ways.
Yeah.
It's a tough lane matchup, so we'll see.
It's true. Alone used to be a very greedy mid player. He used to play like carry-ish types of heroes like Morphling, so he is very good at farming from mid. If they wanted to play this TA, I think it would suit his old playstyle very well.
Yeah. I want to look at OG's ban. They did a Mars and a Nyx. Do you feel that they don't know where this Snapfire is going, and that's why they've banned one of each?
They don't know where Snap's going. They don't really know where Monkey's going. Could be Monkey offlane. They play Monkey offlane. Like maybe thinking, maybe Thunder Awaken play Monkey offlane. Monkey offlane versus Alk. That honestly sounds great. If Monkey's like this kill lane where you want to be pressuring the enemy carry, you want to be, do Amar got like 8 kills at 6 minutes in or something. Like that's what Monkey wants to do. And against Alk, that's like the dream hero to go up against as offlane Monkey. So I can see why.
Or something, and he can't protect him anymore. But maybe not. Maybe his is really powerful. They don't really have great ways to deal with the tree ends.
Yeah, the Nature's Prophet seems like a really solid pick to me that can kind of control the tempo of the game. But I think Thunder Awaken have picked tough lanes. Like if Alone, I think a lot comes down to this mid lane. Like Alone needs to come out on top for me. Like he's picked this Kunk against Invoker, has a bit of a matchup advantage, even if it's just a small one.
Or something.
And I think he's got maybe more playmaking potential on the map.
Maybe his is really powerful. They don't really need to stop the TA approaching. That's like OG's
the Nature's Prophet seems like a really
I'm looking forward
solid pick
to
to me
seeing if these teams are able to shut down and capitalize on what they need to as we head on over to Trent and
Like
Lyrical.
Alone needs to come out on top for me. Like he's picked this Kunk
Thank you
against
so much,
Invoker.
Nat and Trent.
Has
We're
a bit
here
of a
at the
massive
start of
advantage,
another
even if
day
it's
of
just a
groups
small
with
one.
more action to come.
and he
Thunder's
can't
looking for
protect him
Zoji.
anymore.
Maybe
Maybe not. Maybe his is really powerful. They don't really need to stop the TA approaching. That's like OG's
the
biggest
Nature's
thing.
Prophet seems like a really
here in the group stage, and it is certainly, as the panel mentioned earlier, it feels like anyone can beat anyone. And with this lineup, I'm kind of favoring Thunder Awaken, I gotta say.
I know, there's some interesting dynamics going on here too, right? Because the last time these two teams met, it wasn't in the group stage, it was elimination. Stockholm, they knocked them out. I don't know if you guys knew that, but OG ended up going on to win that tournament as we get ready to hop into this game. But the one thing that I noticed, I think the panel touched on earlier, was that they gave them their heroes. Timber in that series previously where they got knocked out, they banned both of them. They're like, all right, we're going to come up with answers, and we'll see if it's the answers that will work out this time as we hop into game number 1.
They've had time to mull it over here. You know, they got knocked out there. You know, what if we had to let them have it? What would we do? And so this is the answer that you've gotten here. And so a couple unconventional picks here in a sense of the off-lane Snapfire, which the hero very flexible between the 5, the 4, the 3, and occasionally even the 1 or the 2 rather. It looks very strong, depending if you can hit those timings. And it is a draft of timings here for Thunder Awaken. As when you look over to OG, I see a lot of greedy heroes. You know, this is not the lineup you want in your pubs.
No.
You know,
I mean, maybe in NA, you know, we farm a lot when we're
that's
hanging
true.
out.
There's a lot of neutrals that would be terrified to see this lineup appear on the screen.
Listen,
The game began.
everybody always talks about how, like, you know, if you can't find a fight, you go to an objective because the objectives can't run away. The neutral creeps also can't run away. The jungle's always there, right?
That's so smart. You know, they try and run away, and they just run on back, and suddenly there's more of them when you stack it.
Oh, it's
you
so
know, it's
good.
an endless cycle for them. So, yes, and of course, Matthew, long time. Big fan of Matthew, this guy. You know, he's been playing in a lot of North American tournaments for a long time, as well as the South American tournaments. He's been playing a lot of the in-house leagues as well, so he's been on this come up for an extremely long time. This is one of his absolute best heroes at the moment.
He has made a lot happen on it, whether it's early rotations around the map, securing runes is sacred, and the jump in from Monkey already. Iragi taking a good chunk of damage there. Is Pandamu going to go down first? No. So they'll find first blood. Pandamu gets it before he dies.
I'll take that on the Dazzle, right? This hero is obviously gaining a lot of steam. I even saw one of the top threads today. What is going on with Dazzle? You know, everyone's trying to figure out. Some guys like, you know, I tried playing this hero and something else out. It's like the best hero at the major. Why is this hero so good? Well, lanes are pretty important right now, as they usually are in Dota, but Dazzle just feels great in the lane with the help of that poison. And I mean, personally, I just love the shard, and I'm sure a lot of these players feel the same way. Where getting that shard, you know, it feels bad to have weak control as a 5, and Dazzle can solve that with that item.
It gives you that extra bit that you need. Nice dodge there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a more telegraph stun in Dota than Unstable Concoction, but Matthew not going to take too much damage from that if he has Mischief up for it.
Yeah, and this is those position 4 Monkey players, they like to look for lanes that they can abuse, whether it's like double melee situation, or in this case a melee support that has to get like a little bit close, and with telegraph damage like that, it's sort of a perfect scenario here for Matthew. So this of course is going to force Seb to just throw the concoctions over onto Sacred, but the synergy from this lane will come out with the help of the minus armor and the treants, because you're going to be weakening that defense that they have, and you're all going to be right clicking, so that is at least one nice aspect. I do think, however, that Sacred and Matthew should be able to do very well in this lane. I think that if they get like a kill early and they keep the like the stats coming, get a little bit of regen going, I feel like they have the strength here.
I mean, they are definitely already doing that. You see between the two of them, 7 and 2 in terms of last hits.
Yeah.
And Nature's Prophet, rare that you see it this low, but Iragi having some trouble. Matthew's doing a good job of getting some of the last hits on the range creep with the Primal Spring, and of course Sacred and Matthew playing together on low ping. They're able to get a good chunk of those denies.
The weights are off, you know,
Exactly.
taking off the shackles. It's true. Yeah, it's usually very difficult to deal with the treants in the lane. They're doing a great job. But down bottom, we have a Templar Assassin in the lane versus the absolutely terrifying duo of Taiga, Enigma, and Amar Timbersaw. This guy does not have to play this hero very often anymore. It's a rare sight to see, as most teams are going to ban it out, but he's been doing it here. And it pairs very well with Taiga on this Enigma. Of course, sometimes you want a position 4 that maybe roams a little bit, heads to the mid lane, can get some kills done with a Timbersaw, since you can give him that space. But why not go full greed with an Enigma? And you know, you don't even have to farm your own camps and stacks as Enigma. You can often sort of rotate into that enemy jungle and maybe pressure mid lane a bit too.
Oh, it's very nice, yeah, and in that extra space out there, and particularly if you can get to the later stages of the game, allowing Taiga to really scale, that's been a recipe for success for them so many times. But already, I mean, the thing that the panel talked about, the danger of this Thunder lineup, they're winning the lanes, and eventually they're going to make that move over for Roche, like Sheep was talking about. We'll have to see how that goes, but coming out on top right now across all 3 of them. And of course, you have much better ability to rotate to make some kills happen with that Nature's Prophet, as Alone going to try and get some damage there onto BZM. Actually takes 2 tower shots for his trouble, and is going to have to back away just sitting on that Quas.
Yeah, this is a painful matchup. the panel saying. It's just not one that really goes in Invoker's favor. It's great for the Kunkka. It's not a huge win, of course, as most mid matchups don't feel too terrible these days, but you know that there's a chance for a kill at level 6, and that can always be a bit worrisome. And you know, maybe you just take one step the wrong direction, you get X marks, especially if some sort of a rotation comes through. So you also have to be cautious here. It's up top. Ragi gets jumped under the tower to really have damage.
Yeah, and Matthew's willing to go. Does get the cookie afterwards from Sacred. So the team covering each other, held onto that fairy fire the whole time, no worries. And the salve back up. I mean, they're playing this top lane very, very well.
Yeah,
Seb tries to get a punch, doesn't even manage to.
That was a lot of confidence there. Matthew makes it all the way over there to body block the small camp. Really well done. It's really hard to manage the creeps versus Nature's Prophet in general, right? Because he can always block your camps with his treants. He can even do shenanigans like pulling waves and stuff too.
Oh my god.
And that Orb of Venom, he is hitting.
Is set. I mean, he does have the stun though, so should be fine here, but it's going to take a beating on his way back to that lane.
Yeah,
Matthew.
Eight wand charges too. And it's like, you don't want to because then there's like TP and stuff too. So it's just a good old smacking.
Yeah. And I don't know if he feels comfortable going back to this lane. He's going to try and cut down some more trees. He's just out of there. That's not much more to it. Dang.
That actually kind of gives at least some space for Yuragi though, right? Because like without Sacred and Matthew, they're tired to kill the treants. And yeah, instantly back though, because that's the power of Monkey King.
And a chance. Do they want to go for this? I was wondering if they're going to go cookie, but Sacred kind of low on mana.
It's almost better to just keep pressuring, right? Because, I mean, obviously killing Nature's Prophet would be great, but at the same time, as long as you're holding him down and slowing that ability to pressure, like, he can always just TP back in the lane anyway.
Right. And Amar, we always knew he was going to start catching back up again as these levels came out. And currently doing okay, a little bit behind, not the biggest thing in the world. The levels are probably where the bigger issues are going to reside here. But there hasn't been a huge separation as of yet from either of the cores. As Kaz moves over. Instead, they turn their sights onto Taiga. The slowdown's there, and with a couple quick punches and a melt ready, that is going to be a dead Enigma.
Yeah, you can kind of see how that death happens because he's pressuring in the Malphus and he had the demonic conversion ready, right? So he's like ready to go Eidolons, but he's waiting for that perfect moment where they can get the kill on the Dazzle, and then suddenly it's not working out and the TA comes over and you're just dead. So like, it kind of looks like you fed, at the same time you were close to kill.
Yuragi goes down now, and Seb trying to make a turnaround happen. The early pressure that you get from this lineup, Thunder, they've got a lot of just firepower at the early goings here.
Yeah, this is where you want to see like the mangoes coming out, the sticks, the wands, everything like that to keep up this pressure, right? And Matthew doing the best possible thing, going to grab that bounty rune away as well.
Yeah,
He's got a little bit of time, they've lost Yuragi.
Take away all of the potential to come back in, and Taiga just gonna try to farm up a little bit here. But yeah, Thunder, quick little pause as they have built up a 2,000 gold lead at just 6 minutes in. They have put in together a very good laning stage. And I guess for OG, do you think that they kind of feel pressured to shut this down at some point to try and like make those big rotations, or do you think that they're comfortable like coming out just a little bit behind in the lanes?
It depends on how Thunder Awaken want to play this. We have an issue where they of course have a couple obvious objectives in terms of the Roche, and then it comes back to the Ancient stacks as well, which can be there for Pakas too. So there's this idea of how much do they want to pressure and play into the dire jungle, and how much do they want to sit back. Because the rotation is coming to that top lane.
Matthew takes some damage.
Sacred as well.
Gets some trouble. Yeah, as soon as we talk about it, they immediately go on in to make a move to stop this. But Matthew, can he get the jump away? Oh, it's just barely not off cooldown. Couple more punches coming in, and body blocked. Able to dodge it. The mischief needs a couple more seconds, but can't get it.
Not quite there yet, you know. It's Monkey King players. They don't buy boots very often. So we'll see if he eventually gets them.
Yeah, so good rotation there by BZM. Much needed. And going for the Quas Wex build, but not going for the Urn. Instead opting to just try and build into more of the right-click build for this Invoker.
Yeah, we do have an Urn on Taiga as well, too, so he can at least help cover that. I mean, Taiga likely to play a little bit of teamwork here, right? He's not like a mega greedy Enigma player, I would say. Likes to be involved. Yeah, OG as a whole unit, they love these earlier engagements and skirmishes, too. So even when you see a lineup like this and you're imagining some heroes that don't necessarily like to get their hands dirty that early, they're, of course, always willing as a squad to do that. As
BZM, he knows. The X is there, though. Mortimer's Kiss is coming out afterwards. Makes the move, the jump forward. They will find BZM for the finish. but can they get any more afterwards? Matthew up in the trees? It doesn't look like it. That was always going to happen.
That's a big rotation. 4 heroes mid for that kill on the Invoker to avenge that death top.
It's funny.
Yeah, Sacred immediately runs back up there too to start pressuring Uragi. He finally gets a little bit of breathing room to farm.
Mar taking some Sideblade hits there. Does have the level 6 though, but Kaz doing a good job of sort of forcing him back, even though he took a ton of damage.
Amar always has the best items to replace his TP slot. You ever notice that?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you know, satanic.
I like that.
You know, maybe later.
Yeah.
I can help myself out here. And yeah, that's the point in the game that Amar loves, because he's level 6 on Timbersaw. So you start pressuring that safe laner, and that generally sends them towards the jungle, because it's not even a matter of like survival, it's just efficiency at a certain point where you can't withstand it, right? He's just going to keep regenerating with the soul ring. He'll bring out as much mana as he needs, and he will keep trying to kill you. So Paka should be farming towards the Ancients at this point. Unfortunately, no stacks yet, since that top lane has just been so busy killing OG.
And trying right now, Uragi to keep a hold of this one. Hanamu going to back away, and this will be a tier 1 tower given up to OG with the pressure from the Eidolons as well as Timbersaw in the area. You do not want to fight that. And as you mentioned, no stacks in the triangle for the Ancients, and also no move as of yet to go in for the top tier 1 tower. They might be able to find something. Uragi caught in a bad position, phase boots forward, and will find their man. Matthew there, the torrent connection after the fact, and Uragi tries to get away, but there will be no escape.
And has now moved up to that top tower to try and increase their ability to hold it there, since bottom was taken. Can throw out some fastest rays, but realize this is too dangerous for me versus a monkey and doesn't want to feed, so it's going to back it up a little bit there. Paga's still down in that bottom half, not able to really make anything happen up top, and a couple stacks being made for him in the meantime. So this is pretty nice, right? You keep clearing up, playing down here, down bottom, where you feel at least relatively safe. Then you can go for those ancient stacks so there's more and more value. Pandamu's going to do another stack now, so this will be 2 triple stacks in the triangle for him. Not a lot of concern that OG is going to come and deal with this, I don't think.
No, it'd have to be a big timber rotation or something like that to actually find an avenue to come on in and fight that, but they do instead make the move towards the mid lane, and this is again the power of that Nature's Prophet playing in position 1. Got Forge Spirits out.
Alone has no TP.
Aggro.
They need the Kunkka. All right, now I'm talking about how there's not much opportunity to contest, but if you lose that mid tower too early, that can be very dangerous.
Astra. They give it to Taiga, actually. He is very close to level 6.
BZM was trying to TP up top for a kill.
And instead gets caught. Taiga's there. He has level 6 now, looking for the black hole. He can find it on the boat, but they can break it with Sacred as well as alone. Taiga still moving in, not opting to drop it yet. The turn there onto 2. Matthew gets graved. And Taiga just plain interference. That's enough to keep BZM alive.
That was like the greatest example of the threat of the black hole I've ever seen. Everyone's just panicking. Left, right, run, split, get us out.
That is funny. That was good though. Trying to get towards the Blink Dagger next, but in the end, it just means that, you know, mid tower.
Let's watch this TA here. She's about a 5K net worth before she started onto this. And I'll boost through a couple camps here. Oh yeah. That's my math's not so good, but I count 4 camps. I believe.
That's solid.
Right there. That's a quad stack right there. That's a 4-wheel drive, big honking Texas-sized truck.
Oh God.
Stack.
You can't do the accent. You really,
I took the action selections on that course.
It's so bad.
James
It's terrible.
I'm working on it.
It's okay.
Slax is teaching me.
That's fair.
Yeah. We just once they drop the Texas style hero, you know, they're gonna bring Engineer from TF2.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Up top now is somebody that's not from Texas, Seb on the Alchemist.
I was gonna say, I thought you meant Sacred on the Snapfire. So, like, you know, I think Snap's pretty close.
Who did that?
All right, that's the cosmetic.
He did it. His freaking voice line's unbelievable. Yeah, he comes on in, gets the quick and easy deny onto that tier 1 tower, and now BZM battling for the rune. Tornado, Cold Snap. Oh, the Treants, they move. Can't deny, but they might get the bigger win here as BZM pulled back in. Can they bring him down, though? Torrent stun. And the Mortimer's Kisses from downtown find the Invoker again. Sacred did not like when he rotated to his lane.
Part of it right now, too, for OG's lineup is that, like, they're obviously not that online at this point with these heroes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even without the net worth, like, these are, like, level hungry heroes, item-hungry heroes in the Nature's Prophet as well, and sort of like key items that you're looking for before you really get involved, like BKBs for Nature's Prophet. You want to jump in, your Blink Daggers for your Enigmas and everything like that. And so I like how Thunder Awaken just give no recourse because they just bring numbers, right? Like these long-range bombs from Sake where he's immediately right back up top and pushing and farming too. They guarantee that first kill, so there's just no wiggle room for OG, and they just go back to growing their lead.
Yeah, and that is exactly what they've got to keep up the momentum with. Likewise, though, if OG want to, they can, you know, play it a little bit safer, get that Blink Dagger up on Enigma, and the rotation comes over, but already double Sentry Wards down. They were ready for that move. BZM won't catch anybody out here.
I think OG are in a very precarious position right now, though, because I see what... I see them needing to heavily outplay, and that's the OG classic, right? Where you're just like, I can't believe they did it. Like, they got this sweet smoke play. They grab a couple of heroes, they wrap behind your tower. You're not expecting the numbers to be there because someone else is showing somewhere else on the map, and then all of a sudden they're there, you know? So maybe they can make that magic happen, but like, by base level, casting all your spells, Thunder Awaken just feels so much stronger at the moment.
They've got those heroes that just will win the fight, particularly before those BKBs come out. You can see BZM's item build. He's definitely going this right-click oriented pickup, and now going back for the Yule Scepter. I think that we also saw there the Hand of Midas, which was completed for Yuragi, so opting to go for, again, more greed, which... You know, if it works, that's great, but also it leaves open this huge window where Thunder Awaken can definitely take advantage of. We'll have to see what they opt to go for.
Yeah, I do think the Prophet's a bit tough, because like the Midas does help a lot on this hero, you know?
Oh yeah.
With all, you are just a right clicker. You like TPing with BKB, you're just staying there right clicking, so you're like, oh, you know, the scaling as well, it's kind of worth. It's like Maelstrom or Midas. You know where the carry player is going to go every time. You know, given the choice.
That's fair enough. Now, Kunkka going in for the BKB. This timing that they get for that is going to be very strong. We also saw that the Snapfire finishing off the Blink Dagger, going next into the Shard, and Pakaz already done with the Deso and the Dragonlance. So win one fight. Which time?
Their 15-minute timing is pretty terrifying with that Snap Shard.
I mean, even without it right now, it's pretty scary.
They're just smoking with kisses. They're just like, all right, Sigurd, you stand over there. We're going to stun Armor, and let's try and kill him. All right, let's see how this goes.
I mean, a lot of heroes are mid right now, and obviously NP can get there pretty quickly afterwards. But it looks like Thunder don't want to make that move, and instead are going for a bit of a different wraparound to bottom, and that's actually where Yuragi has already gotten set up at. We'll see if they meet, right? But I mean, this is going to be one of the best reads I've seen in a while. They see the treants down bottom.
They don't have Alone with them, though, so it's a tough grab.
Yuragi, smoke breaks. Oh, they don't check on it. That must have breaking because of time. Ah, that was close.
Oh, he's immediately right up to the top side of the map. So it's still, I mean, not too bad for Thunder Awaken. They're losing a little bit of their lead, right? They're not necessarily pushing it. They're getting outfarmed because I've seen Seb up on the top wave. You obviously have two supports that can farm fairly well, an Alchemist and an Enigma, so that's slightly better than on the opposite side, where you just have Pandamu running around as Dazzle. He's surprisingly getting a little bit more fun than you might expect. And then Matthew hopping from tree to tree, trying to keep an eye on OG and what they're up to. So the gold will tick over OG's way as long as there's no combat here from Thunder Awaken.
Well, and it might tick over that much more quickly as Taiga just got two things brought out to him. A Blink Dagger and a Smoke, and I think I know what they're going to be doing with those.
It's a good combo.
Mar right next to him. Lone showing in the mid wave for a moment.
I feel like his BKB is taking so long. But a lot of that's because like all the stacks went to Pakaz. I mean, look at Pakaz. Like, this is a funnel going directly into this TA right now, so that is why. But now they really want to win that fight and get Aegis, because he's gone for the Blink, Deso, Dragonlance, no BKB. Ooh. They want Aegis on the Templar Assassin.
This is going to be the pivotal moment. I mean, you've got a couple things here, right? If you black hole him, doesn't matter how much net worth he is, he's going to go down. But likewise, does have that Blink potential for the outplay.
Well, he also only has 1 point Midnight Pulse too, you know?
That's true.
It's still really early in the game, so it's not free. And part of the reason why Pandamu's been given some waves more than you might expect is because he's been hoarding that gold to get towards the Shard.
Yeah.
Get that nice and early, and they're not really going to have great counters for that, particularly Amar.
Is under attack.
Snapfire Shard done. And Taiga
It's meld time. We're in the pit.
You know, they're not smoking. They don't want to go for it yet. And instead, like you said, Thunder, they're going to be the ones that head right into the Roche pit. Sunstrike's going to spot it. You need to be careful about this movement over, but I think they come too late. It's just done.
I think OG were at a point where they knew they just can't contest this. And that is very dangerous.
Well, not taking a fight you can't win, but does give an objective over to Thunder Awaken. While some damage was dealt there on the bottom side of the map, it's going to have to be a long wait. And I mean, fair enough. You buy a bunch of Midases, you pick an Elk 5, kind of
They got Philosopher's Stone, you know, it's all checking out.
That's what they're going to do.
Look at that GPM on TA, nearly 600 right now. So look how even it is on OG.
Oh, Seb, yeah, he's going to get brought down here. But yeah, they're very much like all together in a big core group. Well, it's much more stratified on the Thunder Awaken side.
Seb even buying the forbidden item of the medallion. Don't get to see that very often anymore. Obviously, with Solar Crest being considered relatively weak at the point, you know, it feels like you can't upgrade that well. It's a great item for Alchemist, though, especially back when Sport Alpha was more popular, like 6 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a great time. You picked Venge, you picked Alch, you ran around, you stunned people.
Now here's the thing. Alchemist, right? When he's got to push out those sideways,
don't like
when
where
you're
this is going.
behind, you get so much more gold from pushing out side lanes and just dying, right? It's going to get towards that Aghanim Scepter. Then they got it.
He performs alchemy. He makes gold out of nothing.
Taiga. Oh, they don't find him. He jumped away. Matthew.
That was worth. That was a good guess.
Out a couple of the trees.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'd like to see them put these. Yes, exactly. Okay, these wards are really good. These wards in this area, because you see when the monkey's jumping from side to side.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they will spot him, but he's already got wards over on the other high
They
ground.
already had it. They actually had a sentry by the camp that caught that. That's brutal.
Yeah, that was rough. And in the meantime, BZM gets jumped on. The chase down Cookie, not quite there, but because they're not going to go for any more. But instead, they get him with the Mortimer's Kisses. And now Taiga also taking a couple more globs of goo. Seb drop down low, and okay, these rotations is a little bit dangerous. And then move the turn. There's going to be the X, the bug coming out on to the Timber. He catches him mid-chain. And some weird stuff happened to the Force Staff, but will they have enough to bring down Seb? It doesn't quite look like it. They have vision over the trees.
He's gonna give away the war. You know, and they probably knew at that point anyway with how the fight went. Just clear it up there from Seb, saying, yeah, 100% definitely a ward up there. And there was still a tier 1 tower. Thunder Awaken definitely taking advantage of what they need to with this lineup, right? You have to push the envelope right now with this Aegis. This is the most important timing with your draft. You understand that you're stronger, and you must push. But man, you look at that net worth chart, it's incredible where OG's at right now. Like, they are just fully maximizing the map, and I'm a little worried.
I do feel like we've seen this a couple of different times in this tournament with different teams. Good blink away there, but the X... Wait, did he actually get out?
Yeah, I think he has the illusion.
Okay.
Step lively now.
Well, regardless, they end up getting away.
Radiant's top tower is under
And
attack.
it's one of those moments to me where I feel like we've seen it a couple of different times. It's because apparently wanting to use this Aegis here. Stun, Grave, down low. Yuragi moves in. The X afterwards going to connect. Matthew ready for the turn. So Aegis down. Do they have a second round of this? The black hole immediately taken away by Taiga. And now Yuragi, he's going to pop that BKB and try to ward away. Matthew in some trouble, but that is going to be a dead Enigma. Everybody else backing out, Kaz punching out Treants. And so the Aegis fight ends up just being a trade. Both of the supports.
Yeah, Thunder Awaken try something very sneaky where Paka's tried to meld, sitting on that sentry for a long time, hoping to start a good fight, hoping it would just be like lower numbers, but OG had them all there.
Good play by him to get out of there with that Force Staff.
One thing that OG is so good at too is just dumping everything on that one target, like coordinated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see the communication where other teams will struggle with this. Like maybe that TA, like there was a Force Staff sitting back there with the Grave there as well from Panmu. I thought maybe they'd get a save, but not quite able to.
And it's actually, in fact, going to be OG to get the first tier 1 tower, or tier 2 tower rather, because it's stunned for the moment. Alone is there. X On to BZM. And Namar moves in. Sacred in some more trouble here. He's got to go for the cookie away. Namar able to dodge the sun. Panda Moo throws out the grave. Sacred in trouble. Dazzle is dead. And Thunder, they're just trying to push that advantage too much. And OG, they're punishing this.
Also, they definitely don't have a 4-staff. They have Cookie. My bad. Only Seb has 4-staff.
Good old Seb. I think that it is interesting how much we've seen 4-staffs get picked up recently, though. It's definitely coming back into vogue.
I think it's a lot of the meta heroes too. It just feels like, you know, we're getting into these. It's always nice for like the Razors, that little bit of spread and a split. This Nature's Prophets can be kind of helpful for them as well. Try to save. Like, and
is under attack.
They're trying to force this so hard.
I mean, that is the interesting thing, right? Because obviously, black hole down, you feel like you can make something happen, but why there? And now they're coming back again. They're going for Yuragi. Boundless strike to open, the Torrent afterwards. If you can make it work, it's good. Usually afterwards, Seb's going to get brought down. They didn't need the X for the first kill, which means they set up for the second.
Well, I mean, you know, they say play around your vision, so they just do that for like 4 minutes, and eventually it does pay off with a couple more kills. But we've seen this like global mobility that OG's showing off already with the Nature's Prophet, the Boots of Travel, on the Invoker, and so even if you're like getting kills here, like what's the overall goal? And like they still didn't get the tier 2,
right?
So this eventual hope of that Aegis that was burnt rather quickly was not actually achieved.
Yeah, you can see in spite of the Aegis, in spite of how good a lot of these fights have looked for Thunder Awaken when they can take them, that sort of probability, the net worth lead, all these things, very much a 50-50 game. So we'll have to see if Thunder Awaken can try and build up some more momentum here for themselves.
It's such an interesting draft from OG because it feels like once you get past that just first hump of like not getting instantly rolled and snowballed out of the lanes, it feels very difficult to deal with because maybe they're not ganking you that well. I mean, even now, it's like the first time BZM's like getting on the map, right? Using this Ghost Walk to grab this kill on the Sacred. But playing on their own side feels really strong, as you can see by how well they were able to hold that bottom tower despite how many resources Thunder Awaken just kept throwing at it.
Yeah.
And then when you dedicate the full squad to a situation like that and you just get outfarmed across the rest of the map, then Thunder Awaken are just losing out the whole time.
Well, and you've sort of got this other looming threat of the BKB black hole, which is about to be up. Like, all of these fights have taken place without that tool being at their service. Like, the one black hole we had was like a second before the Hex came out from Dazzle. And I'm a little worried.
All I'm going to say is this is the weirdest heat map you're ever going to see in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
If you took a heat map of this game and where the Radiant team played, it is so odd.
Just like all down
It's
there.
just bottom the whole time. Like they went top for Roche once, and that was it. And then we just decided to dedicate our lives to the bottom half of the map. And like, I mean, I can see how they're incredibly strong in those enclosed spaces where they get up and they control that triangle and they take this tier 2. It's a really good spot for a support Monkey King to fight because your Wukongs is pretty important and your Boundless Strike. It creates very good lines and angles to enclose these spaces, and very similar reasons for a Kunkka too with boats, right? They're gonna cut down Matthew here. Yeah, they got him. Give him the old whip.
BZM comes in for a couple punches. No mischief for the save. Instead, they drop the kisses again. Sacred, he's pretty good with them, but it's not actually going to turn into anything here. And now they just don't have kisses.
Your Admiral is on board.
So Thunder struggling over the last couple of minutes, and OG pulling it all together. They've been able to wait out their timing. They've got Orchid, BKB done on Yuragi, DD also in hand, and Roche, it's a pretty quick spawn. I don't know if they can freely go into that. There is that trap still sitting around, and Panda Moo walks into everybody. Hello, hello. Crave right on himself at the start. That's pretty cool. We'll get off the poison touch afterwards. X is there. Do they have enough to bring down one of ours? Stuck for the black hole. The turnaround. Oh, he saves his buddy. 3 and 4, they go well together. And the turn was so good, and the lone is going to just barely get out of there. But Pakaz, the savior, Pakaz, the hero, Pakaz, SP Pastor, is it happening? Oh my God, Thunder, the chase down. Amari's got to run, he's got to get out of there. It was looking good for so long, and then the turn from the TA was just unreal.
I actually can't believe that play though from Taiga. That was such a good black hole. I thought they had. I was like, oh, like I thought German Panda was so good, right? Because it's like the separation was for Thunder Awaken. They're kind of out of the way, and they're gonna just like blow up this Dazzle and keep going, and then start turning these crazy heals. This hero has now on Dazzle actually able to save himself, but then you know Tiger comes through, TA comes through, and eventually it's just like kind of even except for everything that that Pakaz got. Like everyone else is just like whatever about this fight, and he got 1,277 gold.
Yeah, that is wild.
I mean, this is why. Look at Dazzle. Look at that. The heals out of that grave is actually ridiculous. And because they sort of like at a cooldown turn of damage, but man, Taiga gets in there in the perfect possible moment. And then suddenly, you know, Papa's here.
Comes in for the cleanup. I mean, that's the thing, right? Everybody's focusing alone. Who manages to escape? Oh, and now they look for more, though. Seb already down very low. The rest of OG trying to get out. A couple of sideblade hits. It's not quite enough. As Tamar going to be controlled. Has a melt strike as they come out of this one. Looks for the stun, but the BKB was right there. He held it that entire time. Trying to escape more. Kisses from downtown. They disarm on the Monkey King. Taiga gets the stun afterwards, but Pakaz unstoppable, force staff through, looking for more, but there's nowhere else to go. I mean, OG are doing a fabulous job of dodging these fights.
Yeah, great disengage here from them, but this whole Aegis and that fight on the Ancient has been given the second life here to Thunder Awaken, where they really needed this to try and re-enable Pakaz again. They were sort of struggling on the map, floundering a bit, losing this space. Now this Templar Assassin, she is humongous. She's got 1,000 gold per level right now.
The Aghanim Scepter.
23. Yeah, she is all over this map, right? And this was what they were struggling with, was trying to get everywhere and trying to control the spaces. So getting the Ags is it's kind of a scary investment, obviously, because you're not scaling a lot of your damage issues, but you know, if you can just be there, I think they've got enough damage.
And I think that it's worth reiterating again, like these young players coming in, a rivalry that's developing between, you know, different regions across the way. I know, that's insane. He's got more than any other two heroes. I'm pretty sure that's how the math works, but I mean, it's just really, really cool to see that, you know, still get young players in, absolutely wrecking, whether it's Taiga, Enigma, Yuragi playing this NP, Pakaz owning on the TA. They're putting on a show here. Still less than 1,000 gold separating these two teams.
And full ahead.
Yeah, the gold graph just never getting apart this whole game.
Catch sight, can they find target? Boundless strike there, force staff through. They find their man, and he's going down.
I'm not sure. I guess he just didn't want to go over the BKB TP. Wasn't feeling it with the sprout there. Maybe thought I'm just dead anyway.
Yeah, not sure. Well, does have a quick little pause.
He had some issues, you know?
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't any issues that are there, but regardless, it does feel like we've sort of entered into a new phase of this game where anything can kind of happen, but definitely the momentum with Thunder Awaken with this TA 9,000 gold ahead of the next highest.
Yeah, and the last step will be the Aghanims, I believe, for Sacred, because I think that's what they need to just like fully cement this. They want to ride this Aegis to a high ground if possible. Unfortunately, there's only 2.5 minutes left, so it's gonna be a little bit tough. But this idea of just getting that first stun in there with a snap, or even a potential blink save on the TA, because everything for my Templar Assassin should be the motto for this game, right? And the issue, of course, is the BKB's down to 7 seconds, and once that BKB is gone, it's very difficult to play versus the Invoker. And even someone like Seb is going to have these low cooldown stuns that are constantly being thrown around. So you need to find good abilities with your BKB, and then you also have to be dodging the black hole at the same time.
Right. Can't get caught by that one.
Which really means that if they could somehow get a Snapfire initiation or some sort of a Dazzle Hex onto Taiga at the start, that's kind of your best case scenario, because OG will have a tough time saving him.
Double damage.
GD, Matthew takes that. How dare you?
I feel like everyone's gonna do cause.
BKB turn.
That's
Thinking
an
about a chase.
BKB though. You're not. He knows he's not gonna kill.
Yeah.
Just worried about a TP and like someone else could come and assist, or maybe a Mars nearby or something. So
that BKB is so unbelievably valuable.
Yeah.
And it's already down to 6 seconds.
Well, the other terrifying thing is that halberd there from Amar, right? So it's like,
yeah.
I mean, there's halberds, there's Yules. If he doesn't have BKB on the TA, it's so hard to play this game.
We have seen a couple of times really waiting until the last possible second for him to pop it, and that is kind of the danger, needing to play around the stuns, but with the halberd now, you've got that whole other tool.
Well, you know what does help, though, is level 25.
Hey, let's go.
Cause, so about to get there.
That's so crazy. It was 31 minutes, man.
He's sitting in base right now, just like, where should I go? Where should I psionic projection myself?
They will retake over that outpost again. Seb down bottom side. So we'll just push out the other wave.
They have a trap there.
Whoa,
She's coming.
toss from downtown. Vitamarr goes for the heels out, but jumps in. Oh my goodness.
Out of the psionic projection onto the Enigma and just dead.
It's all it took was a second. That's a sniper.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Was that one shot?
No, it was 3, but it looked like 1, you know. They come up pretty fast. It's all but a blur. And it's 25 cost. So heads the refraction instances. And at the same time, though, OG do have a lot of instance-based abilities, so it's not maybe as broken as it can be in some games.
Seb all alone down here. Sacred will spot him and look for the stun.
They have the X chase down from Sacred.
But the rest of the team coming in afterwards. No Enigma for this fight. Kaz pops BKB already. Turns, wants to take down Amar. They're not doing as much damage as they need. Sacred throws out the Centaur. Seb is dead by virtue of that TA. And now turning onto this Timber Saw. Matthew's still managing to live, and they actually push him back inside.
Excellent teamwork.
Well done by Sacred as Kaz turns, looking for the punch down for the disarm and the turnaround for the black hole. They get a Yule's off, but it doesn't matter. They find their targets, take them all down.
Oh, you're seeing the damage issues. It's everything for the Templar Assassin. They just don't have enough. Like, they're trying to get through a mark. They're controlling the Timber, just trying and waiting and delaying for Templar to be done with Seb and finally kill the Alchemist. By the time he gets there, there's not enough damage left. They don't have enough time.
He keeps finding them.
I can't believe he survived that black hole again.
He's respawned. The fight took that long. Yeah, that's one of those moments where you think it's going to take a second and it takes a little bit longer. The power of delaying the fight.
Yeah, and here's that fight again. So what happens here is that Pakaz knows the BKB is going to run out, and so he feels threatened to chase Seb because he's got these constant stuns the whole time, right? And he's like, he's so low, like I can't let him go out and come back in, because then the fight's a mess. That's what OG does all the time. So he finishes the kill on Seb, rotates back over for Amar, and you can see everyone else is just moving away from the Timber, trying to control, all to assist the TA to finally kill him. But it's physical-based damage versus the Timber Saw. They just can't get there, right? And then, yeah, Taiga. I mean, he does it again. You know, same thing as the Ancients up top earlier in the game.
Meanwhile, BZM gets hexed. They jump out. Taiga finds a target alone, drops the boat. It comes out a little bit late, though. Matthew, boundless strike to try and get some separation, but alone likely to fall here. And OG continue the pickoffs. They find the one to win the fight, and now they find the one that might let them go high ground. They don't have any buybacks on Thunder. Not a one.
They were all in at that moment, and now even throwing the kisses just to try and clear this out.
Yeah, and it doesn't even take down all the creeps. They got 2 players coming in mid.
I don't know about that one.
Well, Kaz shows up, turns, kills Jiraki, and now backs away. It's a BKB usage, so no Nature's Prophet.
That's pretty good.
Dude, these players, they are just all over it right now. But Sacred, he might be in some trouble. Seb moves on in, has the stun, but there's the grave, jumps away, disarm is out. Sacred needing to survive this, but I don't know if he has quite enough left in the tank. Does manage to do a little okey-doke, but they catch him, and they will kill him. Has buyback on this Snapfire if they did. Mar turns, gets the refraction instances off both. The Wukong's command down instead, going to stun himself. Kaz trying to get some Sideblade spillover damage, but it's not there.
Yeah, see if you can hit a little bit of those side blades that pure. Try and cut through some of this.
A good amount of damage there on the BZM afterwards. But they get away with only losing a tier 3 tower.
Yeah, you can be pretty happy about that. And the biggest thing too is by taking down Uragi, the map control doesn't get any worse. Because it's already in a bad spot, right? Like all the lanes were pushing into their high ground at this point. Imagine if that's an H spot.
Oh my god.
Oh, that Swift Link, man.
Dude, the psionic projected Aghanims is so good with this TA. It's insane. They need to get a gem or something.
It reminds me of techies.
A little bit, right?
You know, you got these rich heroes just blowing up out of nowhere. Slacks could play this hero?
They have one on Evoker. Heck no. What are you talking about, dude? There's no way. He played support. Lightstone. That's all he does.
the seeds
Well,
of
it's not a support this game, that's true, because he's being supported. I feel like it's kind of a 4-in-1 situation, as you can see by the fact he's almost doubling the net worth of his mid laner at this point, as they're going to project their way in again.
Moves in, finds a target, jumps, looking for the kill. Will they get it? Yes.
Global this.
Another snipe. Now, who's the real one now? Silence, Amar, but manages to get out.
Oh, is Sebi going to survive too?
Yeah,
The
looks
Pine
like it.
Cone, the War Pine Raiders blocking the Kunkka from chasing.
They're doing it. Chase? Dude, I thought that was Snapfire.
It was, but she was just farming.
And instead, they find him here. Matthew, boundless strike. He's waiting for teammates, waiting for friends. Jam on the deck. They got him. Trying to keep vision. Matthew, the sneaky vision from the Monkey King.
He's so close.
Oh my goodness. And that is Gem on the ground. Thunder. I don't know how they're doing this. It's like the weird little pick-off type of Dota that's coming out from them, and then from OG, when they all group together, they can find those black holes. Oh, it's some good Dota we got here today.
It's a really cool use of the TA by getting this Agnums early. Like, building your strategy around that and the idea with the Monkey King, too. Like, they synergize so well. And, of course, a Kunkka who is building towards the ductility more so. And that was a hero.
Dude, all it takes is a second. Now Seb afterwards, they've got the X, can pull him back in for this if they want. Boat will connect. The disarm is there, but now they get the buyback. Everybody from Thunder needs to escape. Monkey King in some trouble. The grave is out. And the rest of Thunder get out of there as well. That's 2 gems. Oh no, Matthew, what have you done? They leave them both in the base.
Gods as well. The instances are too much, though.
Yeah, they got to be careful here. A good stun on the 2 to try and get away.
That was pretty good. Taiga's way in the back, right? He wants to be the next level of initiation.
TP out of there. Not going to happen. They find Panda. They got greedy. They went too far. The buybacks punished them.
And you know what? This gem is actually a really bad thing to give up, of course, because now you're losing all these projections, right? I see Taiga just running around and clearing up all these traps.
Oh, they know. The projection's there. And Torrent from up on the high ground, alone, moves on in. Had BKB ready to go. Pops it now right at the start. Kaz back in, looks for Taiga. They catch him though with the black hole. Do they have enough follow-up? The BKB was out, so he's taking no damage. Kaz does not die in that black hole. Double buybacks, Dazzle and Sacred moving into position for Kaz. The instances trying to keep him alive, dodging away, hoping to escape. Can Sacred get there in time? They get the grave. But is it going to be enough?
Can they eat him up?
Spider legs running.
Send him away.
Throw him away. Get out back to the bait. They somehow managed to save Kaz. Somehow, some way, they keep him alive. Sacred might pay for this one, but Monkey King, he's getting brought on down by BZM. Sacred in some trouble. Hopes to get out of there, but it won't happen. I don't know if it's going to matter. With 3 dead, this could be, I mean, this should be Roche.
It's a heavy cost to pay to keep your TA alive. That is for sure, especially when she's the one who is buyback.
Yeah.
But I also think a lot of them are going to die anyway.
Of course.
You know, if she just goes down in that moment, so. Keeping the buyback alive because obviously very important as well, and there's no knowledge on these buybacks, right? No, sorry, there's no save. That's right, he bought back to get back in to get the save in the first place, so of course they're going to know that Snapfire's not coming back, so definitely an opportunity here for OG if they want to run it.
One of the times that you see a refresher shard and are very happy, as Enigma will have it ready to go. God, that dive in and Matthew losing both the gems, that one hurt.
Hey, yo, that's, I just saw the cost out here. That tier 2 tower still up.
Hey, man.
That's where it all started, you know?
True enough.
So this game got weird.
Leveler there has the Scythe of Vice completed. More potential to find those solo picks for the TA. That's what she's looking for.
Well, might get solo picked off here. A lot of heroes around this area, and Kaz will project back home, so.
Yeah. No buybacks in the game. Not a one.
Well, that's interesting. That's kind of terrifying. So we got Scythe and then into an eventual leveler once they win the fight for Kaz to try and just one-shot this game down, huh?
That's kind of what it seems like. He's ready to go. And OG, they're trying to take the slow, steady avenue of building damage.
That's crazy they have no buybacks on OG with his Aegis and everything. Like, they don't have any advantage coming to this.
Yeah, that's really scary. They almost have double black hole, 15 seconds. They can drop that if they need to.
Yeah, you gotta watch that leash, of course.
Oh yeah.
Can't project into that, I don't think.
5 seconds till black hole. And Taiga might just take a shot here if they need to.
They sent Matthew way in the back. They shot him back there. They tried to jump to a tree to get to the back lines.
And it's not going to work. Matthew goes down and he doesn't have buyback.
That was a risky play. They felt like they had to find something crazy, and crazy it was.
Still chasing. Hex is there. Force staff keeping it back. Taiga ready to go. Jumps in. He black holes them all. How do you find that? The refresher afterwards. Come on back for round 2. As Papa Taiga caught them all. They are gone. They do have buyback right now on this TA, but I don't know if that's going to matter as his whole team is gone. Into the fountain they go. OG, the story remains the same across 2 majors as they are going to take down Thunder Awaken in game 1.
Oh, Thunder Awaken, this one hurts. There's no doubt about that. Excellent draft coming to the lane stage. They got that compression they wanted, but it wasn't quite that fast pace, that crispness that you need if you want to win with this draft. And a lot of that coming back to, I think, like just, again, map movements and everything, not seeming exactly what you need to achieve this with a draft. Like, getting out of that bottom half